Bring us in, babe.
Welcome to
Coco Caliente. Welcome to Coco Caliente, everybody. We have a fun, and it's actually turned into a very different conversation than we thought it would be.
No, I kind of thought it would be this cool conversation.
Well, not the topics that we had.
Yeah, you're right.
So
we just went with it. We had no notes, nothing programmed in our head. We just kind of turned on the mics and just let it roll.
Season 16, Big Brother. Runner-up with Nicole's, because Nicole was also on season 16, Cody Calafiore. So we hope you guys enjoy.
Hey, Cody, how's it going?
Hello.
What's going on? What up, Vic?
How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, brother. I'm good, man. How you guys doing?
Good. We're excited to talk to you. I feel like I haven't talked to you in like 5 years. No, I'm teasing.
I know.
No, we keep in touch like here and there, but I mean, we didn't even. Vic's like, who are we podcasting with today? I'm like, Cody. He's like, Cody Calafiore. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, this will be easy.
Yes.
So how's quarantine been for you?
Oh man, it's been good. I play a lot of video games, and so a lot of my friends are doing that. So I'm like excited. So I get a lot of like bonding time with a lot of my buddies. But
That's cool.
other than that, it's like it's kind of tough. It's tough. I still, I get to see Christy, so we're going back and forth, and so
that's good. That helps.
Yeah, it's just
And
just
Christy,
not getting out.
For people listening, Christy is your.
Christy is my girlfriend of 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
4 years. Wow.
4 years. Met her the summer after Big Brother.
Oh, wow.
She was a super fan.
She was?
No, she wasn't.
I was like, I didn't know that.
I still debate it with her to this day. I'm like, you definitely were a fan. She's like, I had no idea who you were, and I didn't watch the show.
She has
whatever.
She has like your strands of hair in like a collage in the back
sitting next to her
closet.
bed in like a secret compartment of her drawer. I'm like, I know it. One of these days, I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna be like, oh boy.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So let's take it back.
Yeah, we're happily together.
Let's take it way back. Let's take it back before anything ever happened and before you had super fans, before we knew what super fans were because we weren't in this world. So what were you doing before Big Brother? What was life like for you?
Oh my God. I worked 7 days a week. So I coached soccer.
Uh-huh.
I worked in small business sales. So that was like my 9 to 5. And then I would dance and like MC bar and bar mitzvahs on the weekends.
Oh,
so
yeah,
like
I forgot about that.
Yeah, I was a dancer, MC in training, but I like to say MC in training, so it's not just like I was a dancer with like all these like 13-year-old kids. But I was doing that. I was coaching at night. I was working my sales job during the day, and then I was doing the parties on the weekend. So I was like working 7 days a week. I was like, and it was a struggle. It was a lot.
How does somebody fall into MC in training? How does that, you know what I mean? Like, how does that come in the wheelhouse?
Yeah, you could say it. I was a dancer. How does somebody fall into that? So, growing up, I always DJ. My first job was DJing, and I worked for a company called Dance and DJs.
Okay.
So we would do Sweet 16. So I would, I wasn't like these like amazing DJs like today. Like we had a big CD book, and I would pretty much play songs that I knew were popular and just raise the volume, lower the volume, raise the volume, lower. I wasn't like mixing in any way, but I would do that from like 16 to probably like 20, 21. And then after that, a bigger company, which was Total Entertainment, my brother had reached out to them because they were in like New York City, New York State. And so he was like, dude, this big company, like they pay really well. We could be MCs and then they pay even more, like, it's something that we could do on the weekend for extra money. And I was like, oh, dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so we started out, and you start out as a dancer. You can't just go into it. Like their MCs are like trained and guys that have been doing it for a few years. And the process is you're a dancer, you're in the MC training program, which we would do it every night, every Thursday night for like 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
It was like about like voice inflection and how to command a room and how like changing your voice makes everybody kind of tune into you, and the way you talk and like having a baritone to your voice kind of gets people. It was like a whole different thing. So it wasn't just like, oh yeah, I could get on a mic and be charismatic. It was like a lot. Yeah. So that's why I always say MC in training, because as I was doing the stuff on the weekends, like I would have that every Thursday night.
Dang.
Were you
So
always super? Were you outgoing, or was this something you had to
learn?
Yeah.
I was definitely outgoing. I like outgoing in a sense of like my personality. Like I could get along with other people, but not outgoing in the sense of like I could walk up to any person and spark a conversation.
Yeah.
Right,
like,
because I
couldn't
feel
do that.
like you're more of an introvert. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like, but you're
100%.
Yeah. So for me, that just sounds like an absolute nightmare because I would be like in the class, I'd be like, oh my God, what do I do? I can get along with people too, but being very
there's definitely a distinction between, like you were saying, like if there's a room of people and everybody's kind of like conversing and you're able to talk to people in that room, opposed to standing in the middle of the room and yelling so everybody can hear you and being in the center of attention.
Like Victor would be really good at this job.
No.
I feel like, just like,
it pays really good, Vic. Like I don't know what, but in New Jersey they pay like a lot of these MCs. They make good money on the weekends. If you ever need an extra gig, you start doing it in Michigan.
So did that make you like when you were DJing, especially in high school? Did that make you like even more popular in high school, like this 16-year-old DJ? No. Like
the craziest thing is, I wasn't like Paulie was like the mayor of the school. So like he was, and so being his younger brother, like immediately put me into a crowd of people. So it was always like, oh, Cody, Paulie's younger brother. Oh, like little Calafiore. And so like, I was never like, and cause I was never like overly outgoing. Like I didn't like party a lot when I was in middle school with like kids like did. And so like I had my friends that were my soccer friends that were my best friends. Yep. And like, we like, you know, we would shoot hoops or like, you know, ride our bikes. Like I wasn't like partying. So I wasn't like the popular guy, but like then coming into high school, like I was Paulie's brother and Paulie was like the mayor at all the parties, like
I can
doing
see
all the
that,
stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
You know,
makes
so
sense.
then I kind of inevitably like came into like, oh, that's Paulie's younger brother. And then being good at soccer and being like, and then the soccer team was really good. So it kind of just, you know, I wouldn't say I was like popular. Like I didn't like know everyone. It wasn't like, oh yeah, like I'm the cool kid. Because like again,
really,
like, I
feel like you definitely would be the cool kid. On Big Brother 16, you were the cool kid,
and you're a good-looking guy too. I mean, unless you grew it out of high school. I mean, you're a good-looking guy, so I can't imagine that you weren't popular.
And how many people did you graduate with? Was this a big class?
Oh yeah, like 4,500, I think. Was
oh my gosh,
okay, that makes sense. I mean, that would be weird. That would be different.
That's like the schools in the movies. Like I've never heard of a school. I mean, I've never been a part of a school that big.
Oh wait, no, time out. I think we have like 4,100, like in the school is what I mean, not my graduating class. Yeah, no. Like we have like over 4,000. I think my graduating class was probably around like 1,000, something
that's
like that.
A lot.
Okay, that's still quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah. I was like, wait a minute. I was like, that didn't sound right.
For schools that big, do they pick just like 5 people for homecoming court and stuff? Is that still a thing?
Yeah, it was all the same. It would be like four or 5 people.
How do you even know? Like, that's just weird.
A lot
my
of times
class
it was like the athletes, the football player, or like, you know, it was a lot of times it was like we had this thing called peer leadership. And like, if you were in that, then a lot of the teachers knew who you were too. So like,
okay.
There was a lot of different things in the bigger schools.
So do you, and I have this conversation with Nicole a lot, do you sometimes like reminisce about those high school days and think about how much of nothing that you had to worry about? Like,
God, dude, I say it to because I coach youth soccer and 2 of my teams are high school kids. So they're juniors and sophomores in high school, well, from freshmen to juniors, because like the age difference and variation. And I say to them all the time, I'm like, you guys have not even the slightest idea. Like, you think your schoolwork right now is an issue. Like, high school is the easiest thing that you have to deal with. Just enjoy it. Like, don't be like stressed out. Don't let stuff get to you, because like college, the workload, and then you don't have anybody on top of you, like how the teachers are. So like, it's easy to mess up. Like, enjoy high school for what it is. Reminisce. There's one thing that I always bring up from high school, and it's soccer related. That's like devastating. It was losing our senior year in states. That's like the only like real memory that like I kind of reminisce about. I bring it up to my best friend Billy all the time.
And be talking like, about it when you're
we lost.
An old man. Oh, yeah. You know,
it's still like, yeah, bro. I 100% will. 100%.
So if you're looking for your dad for the perfect gift for Father's Day, I have the best place. It's called Uncommon Goods, and I love it so much because it has such unique, fun gifts that are specialized to the person you're looking for.
Yep. If you're looking for something extra special, they have whether it's like a pint glass featuring their favorite baseball stadium, or Scotch-infused toothpicks, or a grill set made from recycled golf clubs. Like, they literally have everything, and it's so much fun, and it's original, and they're creative gifts for your families.
Yeah, there was something we found for Victor's dad that it was like this wise owl looking statue
made of wood
that would hold his glasses, and it's just really cute, and it just reminded me of his dad.
And the best thing about Uncommon Goods is that it's uncommon and good. So they donate $1 for every purchase, and they have given more than $2 million to nonprofit organizations like RAIN, so that's the Rape and Abuse and Incest National Network, and the IRC, International Rescue Committee. They support good causes like paid family leave and fair living wages.
Yeah, and they also, my favorite part, they don't sell products made with fur, feathers, or leather, so that's amazing.
Boom.
And they support small businesses and local artists. So Uncommon Goods knows finding the perfect gift can be very hard, so they want to make it fun and easy for my listeners. So just go to uncommongoods.com/Coco to receive 10% off your first purchase. That's uncommongoods.com/COCO for 10% off.
All right, so you're working 7 days a week. You're doing the MC thing. You're doing the sales stuff. You're coaching.
Right.
When does Big Brother come into your wheelhouse? Like, is your family like big fans, and you always kind of talked about it, or what?
Yeah, well, no. So, my dad is a huge fan, and then I watched Big Brother. Like, I would watch it with him because I would be home for the summer. So I started watching. Like, I probably watched my first full season. Season 12, Brigade. Mm-hmm. And so, like, because I loved the Brigade and the Alliance. Like, I loved Hayden. Mm-hmm. And so, and I loved Enzo. And so, like, that was the first season I watched, like, religiously because, like, I loved Jeff and Jordan from season 11. But just because of, like, their relationship. But I didn't watch it fully. I just was like, oh, my God, Jeff and Jordan are the best. Like, I love them. Jeff's the man. Jordan's so cute. Like, they're so fun together. And so, like, I love them. But season 11, I couldn't really probably tell you too many other people from season 11, just other than Jeff and Jordan. Yeah. Then 12, I was really into it. Then 13, when they came back and they brought back a bunch of people, that's when I was like super into it. And then 14, 15, I loosely watched.
Same.
And then, 16 was mine and Nicole's first season. So it was, but I watched it not religiously, but my dad watched it all the time. But going on Big Brother was never like, I never came out and was like, I'm going to try to put in, I want to be on reality TV. Because, like, when we were younger, I feel like reality TV, like, all I thought of was Jersey Shore or The Real World. Like, that was reality TV. Like, I didn't even view Big Brother. I viewed Big Brother as a game show. Like, it wasn't a reality TV show to me. Mm-hmm. But I never thought, because Real World, it was always like, oh, it's bad on your resume. And so for me, I was like, oh, I don't want to have like something that's bad. Like, I went to school for business. I want to get a job, and that's what I'm going to do. And so, like, I don't want something that's going to hurt my resume. Cut to today, like, Big Brother would never hurt your resume. Yeah. Like, it would probably only help somebody that you're interviewing with, probably like, dude, huge Big Brother fan, loved you. You got the job, you're set.
And they also like see you 24/7, so like it works in your favor mostly. Like, hey, you're totally for Victor getting in the state police, it's like, oh, we watched you. Like,
funny tidbit of information: the person that was doing my background investigation had to watch every episode of Nicole's and I season of Big Brother, and that was kind of nerve-wracking, but I was like, I didn't do anything bad. It's just weird having somebody watch me that long.
Right. And like going through it, because then you start thinking, you're like, did I do it? Like, are they going to pick something up? Like, oh my God, I can't remember.
Absolutely. So who pushed you to apply? Was your dad like, hey, you should apply? Or were you like, maybe I should, I don't know? Or like, how did that even happen?
Yeah, so I was dancing at a party on the weekends at a bar mitzvah in New York City, and some guy was working the photo booth, and just like, I would, like, we were there to like get the crowd motivated. We were like the party motivator. So like I would be with the kids during cocktail hour, because you want to try to like get the kids like excited, and then you want to almost like befriend these kids so that they come out on the dance floor and they're all having a good time. Yeah. So I was in the cocktail hour, I was hanging out with all the kids, and we were doing the photo booth, and this guy was like, dude, like these kids, like you kill it with these kids. Like, you have a really good personality. Have you ever thought about putting in for this show, Big Brother? And I was like, oh my God, I love that show. No, I never thought of it. I never thought of it. He was like, listen, I do like some casting. Like, I'm not like, big in the casting of Big Brother, but like, I know the people, like, I could kind of push your information through if you'd be interested. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. Here's my email. Send me what I have to do. And so if he didn't say that, or if I wasn't working that party, I probably would have never put in for Big Brother.
That's crazy how things play out.
That is.
Yeah.
And did you put in a video, or did you have to go to an open call?
Yeah. So I put in a video, and after the video, New York City was doing an open casting call, like a little bit down the line. And I met with the casting director, like privately. Like the casting. Yeah.
You mean like Robin or you someone else?
No, Chris.
Oh,
I didn't know if we were allowed to like say their names. You know what I'm saying?
I think we are.
The cast, yeah. So
I mean, I think so, because we've had Robin on here before and she talked all about it. So I think you should be
so
good.
it was Chris.
Yeah.
So I met with Chris and Brian, and Chris was like the main guy, but it was just more of like a one-on-one.
Oh, that's cool.
And like he was asking me questions, and I think all of the stuff, like the way it all aligned, probably helped me get on, because an open casting call, I would have like curled up and like I would have never been myself.
Yeah,
I would have never been myself. It would have been, and I don't think I would have came across authentic. It would have been too much.
Yeah.
So
you
I think
got
it
a
like kind of
one-on-one. So I think that's perfect for you. For me, that's what I always say is like I had to send in a video, because if I was in a room with a bunch of people, I just wouldn't speak. I would be like, just like looking at everyone.
Yeah, it was even weird. Like I went to an open call and having luckily I had gone through the process in a weird way before for actually your guys' season 16. I got to finals and I got cut at the end.
Fun. Man, if you would have got on 16.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Oh my gosh.
But it kind of worked out in a way where when I went to the other open casting call like 2 years later, I was just able to kind of say that, and that pushed me through. But it was very awkward just having 4 other people next to you, and everybody's trying to supersede your personality and why they're the best, and it's like, and I was just like, well, I was on finals 2 years ago.
So like you guys, I already know you.
Like you guys already
just pushed through.
Yeah, exactly. And then I can show you my personality on the next go around.
Because it's definitely different. Because I went to the casting call in New York City the next year for 17. And just watching like what goes on, they had like again, it was like 4 or 5 people just in front of Chris, who was there, and like other associates that they brought in. And I was like, I would walk out of there. I'd be like, well, there's no point in me thinking that anything's coming out of that, because I would never be able to and I'm not like that. Like if somebody has a big personality, I don't try to top that. I'm like, all right, you can be the big personality. Yeah. Like I'm cool with that. Like you be that. And so like, I don't think I would have done well in like an open call. So
what was your dad like super stoked when you told him that you're applying? Like even just in the process, not even that you're on,
Yeah. When I mentioned, I was like, Dad, some guy, I texted my dad right away. I was like, Dad, some guy just mentioned about going on Big Brother. Like, isn't that insane? Do you think I should do it? My dad's like, oh my God, absolutely. You should go on the show. I was like, yeah, right, I should. And so he was hyped. And him being like a big like push to it is like, it's like, what if he was like, no, man, like you're working, like stay working. I would have been like, yeah, you're right, I shouldn't go on Big Brother. So,
yeah, stupid idea. I didn't even want to do it anyway.
I don't know why I texted you.
Well, that's awesome. So you get through the process, you get on. Is it just like a surreal experience, like going into the house when you're finally in there? Like,
oh my God, it was wild. Like seeing Julie. That's when everybody is like, I saw Julie and I was like, oh my God, like I'm freaking out. Like I'm starstruck by her. Like I would see her on the TV, and now like she's right here in front of us. I'm about to go into the house. That's when I was like, holy cow, this is actually happening.
Yeah, I think it was like when I was on stage looking at everybody else, and I'm just like, oh my God. I think we were in the same group, right? And
we were.
Yeah. And so it's just like, okay, one of these people are going to be like my best friend, and like just trying to pick out who you're going to get along with. And then you just go in, and I remember like I didn't talk for several days. Do you remember that? I just like didn't speak.
You were definitely super quiet in the beginning, but then you finally get comfortable, because then you get comfortable around these people. Like it's weird, and you guys understand it, but like I always try to explain it to people. Like these people become like your best friends in a way that like you build best friends over like a long period of time because you're not with each other all the time, or you don't have your phone, or like even when you're together, you have your phone. So like you're sitting in silence a good portion of the time because you have your phone in front of you. Like we sit there together and just talk. And so like in a week, you're like, I've known him for a month. Like I'm a little more comfortable. And then 2 weeks go by and you're like, I feel like it's been like 4 months. Yeah. And so I feel like, Nicole, you came out of your shell.
It took like 11 days.
And then it took a little bit. But
at first,
you
they're
came
like,
out of your shell and you were awesome.
At first, you're like, okay, how did this girl get in here? She's not even speaking. Like, is she okay? And then finally, they're like,
little blonde? Have you heard her talk?
Yeah, I just think all the big personalities, because I am an introvert, I think I was just like, oh my gosh, like just watching was so interesting. And like when Joey turned into Alex and Frankie, it was just like there was so much going on, and then finally I was like, okay, I feel comfortable now.
Well, because then you get close to people, and then you feel more. You're like, okay, I feel like I have somebody at least that I can talk to, and then it's like, oh, now I feel like I have 4 people that I can talk to. Oh, no, and then the number keeps building.
Yeah,
it's kind of bizarre because even like, let's say, even if you don't necessarily like someone, you get to know them a lot just by being there, right? So it's kind of weird how that situation works. And
so true.
And you get to know everybody really close. Even if you don't like them, it's like, I kind of know a lot about them because we live together. And even if I'm not talking to them, somebody else is. So I overhear a lot of the stuff that's going on.
Yeah, so true.
And honestly, 16 was such I say this all the time, but it was like the best cast ever. It was where everyone, I feel like, was at their best. I think it brought out the best in everybody. I mean, it was like everyone was we were all kind of the same age, and everyone was pretty nice. It was just completely different from 18, and I would never know that. I would think that they're all like that. All the seasons are like that. But since I just kind of have something else to compare to, but man, that was just like such a fun
She calls it like a summer camp. Like it was fun summer camp.
Yeah, we really did. And I watched the other seasons, and then I talked to people from the other seasons like briefly because like if I'm being honest, like I don't do a very good job of like reaching out to people, not on purpose. I just don't do it. Like I don't
mean anything by it.
You and me both.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, bro? Like, and I know you guys get that. It's just like I just don't I don't know. But like when I would talk to other people, they would say like, "Oh yeah, man, when I was on the block, like it was, I felt like an outcast." And I was like, when people were on the block on our season at 16, like you weren't like ostracized, you weren't like put in a corner. It wasn't like they're on the block, we can't talk to them this week. It was like they would be on the block and then they would be like talking and hanging out, and it would be like I feel like. Even though we weren't really upfront with people when they were going to go home, we would be like, listen, don't worry. Like, I'll let you know if anything like is coming up. Like, don't worry. And I feel like there's like, even though you are bullshitting a little bit, it's more of like human nature to be like even if I know somebody's going home, I'm not going to be like, you're going home.
Just making them feel better.
Yeah, to make them feel better so that they don't feel ostracized and they don't feel like an outcast. Because like this whole experience is mentally testing in itself. And now if you like have a negative experience in it and you feel like, oh, I'm an outcast, like, I don't know the psychological damage that could do down the line to somebody. And I'm just like, I'd rather just be nice. And then if that affects me, like, whatever.
Yeah. If you're going to go, if the person is going home anyway, what's the difference of being nice to them and being mean to them?
I could talk to somebody and like my allegiance is going to stay to somebody that means more to me in the game. Right. But like I still can have a conversation with somebody. Like I never understood that. And it was always like, oh, why are they out talking? They would almost like break up alliances. And I was like, dude, what is going on? Like, I don't know. Yeah. Because I couldn't relate to it. And, you know.
16 was where, I mean, I went home twice and it wasn't where nobody would really like talk to me or anything like that. So definitely I still had lots of friends in there. I still count all of you guys like friends. It's weird, but it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, you going on like that's what the hardest part was. Is like when you went home and when Hayden went home, like you two were like people that I was like wildly close with, and then the game kind of just blew up in a way. And like when you two went home, I was like, wow, that really sucks. Like because you and Hayden I hung out with all the time. No offense to make it awkward.
No, you voted me out instead of him, and you and Derek weren't even on the right freaking page.
I didn't even know what was happening. That's why I was like, like they were like hating Nicole, and I was like, okay, yeah, right. Obviously, she's like, what are you gonna do? Be like, no. And then I didn't even vote the right person out because I was like, what is?
He voted me out
on accident.
And there was like 2 votes to vote me out, Donnie and Cody. I'm like, okay, Cody.
Well, they wanted Hayden out, and I was like, at the end of the day, like I was always looking, I was like, all right, we're gonna send Hayden. I'm like, Nicole's won competitions. Hayden,
you and Hayden were close, yeah, and you were Hayden.
Yeah,
like I didn't trust you. I'll be honest. But Hayden trusted you.
I trusted you.
but Hayden trusted you, so then I decided to trust you, and then I was like, see, we shouldn't trust him. But it was all friendly. It was never like, I don't know.
Yeah. And that's what I think we kind of like knew on our season is like, we knew there was no malice behind like, we're sending you home. It was like, you know, that's why like Donnie, like that was like the biggest backlash. And I was like, guys, I love Donnie. They were like, well, you try to send him home every week. And I was like, yeah, but I loved him. Like, you don't understand.
Yeah, I think that's what people have a hard time. People that are on the show and people that are watching is trying to get that distinction between the competition and the person, right? Like you
100%.
You don't necessarily hate somebody just because you want them out of the game. And I mean, emotions may fly and people may say stuff in the moment, right? But that doesn't mean that they hate them as a person and they don't like them in the real world. You know what I mean? And so it's about the competition at the end of the day. The reason you go there is to win money, right? Yeah. And you make these decisions and you do these things to better yourself, to put yourself in the best position to win. And so people can't take it personal when they get kicked off because, like, how do you think you were going to win the game with everybody else? You know, you all were going to win together. Like, no.
You have to make a decision at the end of the day and hope that it's not taken personally and it's like understood that it's like, okay, this is a part of the game. Like, I'm not going to put myself on the block and send myself home. Yeah. So like, I'm sorry. It's got to be somebody that ultimately at the end of the day, you're close with because you're close with everybody. You know, so it's a wild game. It is such a crazy, but it's so incredible. It's such a wild game.
Yeah, no, it is. So if you're clean out of loungewear, mix things up by changing into Beta brand dress pant yoga pants. They're as comfortable as your PJs, and their professional style will make you feel like you actually got dressed for the day. So what Beta brand is, it combines customer experiences with their expertise to make workwear that's as functional, comfortable, and inspiring as your favorite workout gear. I have a couple pair, and I absolutely love them. They look really good. They feel really good.
I like them because I look at Nicole, and I'm like, oh, those are really nice pants. And they're like, oh, they're like yoga pants.
Yeah, and you can wear them to church and nobody will know, or to work because they're like dress pants.
Yeah.
And so you know how many pants are like uncomfortable and they dig into your skin and you have to like I unbutton them when I'm like sitting in my car. You don't have to do that with these pants. They're amazing. So they're super comfortable and they're stylish. And there's tons of different colors and styles to choose from. So boot cut, straight leg, skinny, cropped. There's some with 8 pockets and more. So I have I think I have like 5 different pair.
Yeah, Nicole really loves them. And
you can check them out on my Instagram. I'm like doing the splits in them.
Right now, our listeners get 25% off their first order when you go to betabrand.com/Coco. That's 25% off your first order for a limited time at betabrand.com/Coco. Find out why women are buying 5 different pairs, like Nicole, of these pants. Or find out why women are ditching typical work pants for Beta Brand's dress pant yoga pants. Go to betabrand.com/Coco for 25% off.
Okay, so you get off the show, and now what's life like for you? Because you are final 2, and now I bet a lot of girls are hitting up your DMs, and it was a very popular season. So what's the adjustment like?
It was definitely an adjustment. I kind of fell right back into my friend group. So like I came home and then like I have a few like really tight friends, like my guys, like a couple of my guys from college, a bunch of my friends from home. So like I kind of just fell right back into that and was going out and then doing like the Big Brother appearances. But like I never really, I don't know. It was definitely chaotic for the first, I would say like 4 months was chaos between like bouncing around and doing like the different appearances that we did. And then, you know, coming home and just being out. And like when people come up to you and you're out and they like know who you are and you have no idea who they are, that's a thing that
it's surreal.
It's hard to, it's surreal. That's a perfect way to describe it. It's surreal. It's like, what in the world? Like, when I did my one meet and greet, I was like, why are all these people here? Like, I can't sing. I can't dance. I have no talent. Like, I could talk about Big Brother, but, like, that could maybe go for, like, 20 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
And so, like, I don't know. It was so weird because, like, I would have felt probably maybe more accomplished if I had, like, a talent. Like, maybe I could sing, and then people were coming and I was singing. They were like, oh, your voice is so awesome. They were just like, we love you on Big Brother. And so I was like, all right, well.
I was myself.
Yeah.
I say that all the time. Like, it's weird because we have no talent. It's
right.
Nicole's like, we can't turn on right now. Like, I don't know what you want me to turn on right now. Like, I'm just walking down the street.
Right.
And I always feel like I'm not enough for them. It's like, okay, but I don't know. It's so weird because it's like, I have no talent. I wish I could act. I mean, we saw that in Bold and Beautiful, and they cut my lines. But it's like, I can't do anything. I'm sorry. I'm so ordinary. Yeah, they gave me 2 lines and they cut one. Then you go and you become an actor. It's like, what the freak? You know? Oh my god!
Yeah, that was the Bold and the Beautiful was really the reason why I was like, this was. I mean, I don't know how you feel, but like, I was on that set and I was like, this is the coolest thing.
I thought it was so awesome.
I've been around.
Yeah. Oh, so is that what inspired you to like to do acting?
Yeah, without a doubt. I never thought about doing acting. I mean, that was not a thing like to go into acting because I did like a little bit of modeling before Big Brother. And that was all because of my brother, because he was living in the city. So he's like, dude, you should get into this. Like, we should be doing this. And I was like, whatever, man. Like, if that's something, like, if there's something going on, I'll come in. But, like, I'm not going to move into the city and chase that. Like, for me, I was like, college, try to go pro, didn't go pro, got my business degree, get a job. Like, that was me. I wasn't like, oh, I want to be an actor. Oh, I want to be on reality TV. Oh, I want to be a model. Like, Paulie always had those ambitions. And so, like, after Big Brother, I was like, whoa, that was cool being on that set. I was like, I think you know what? I want to go after that. I'm young. I don't have a family. I don't have a girlfriend. I don't have kids. Like, I'm going to try to go after that.
Now's the time. For people that are listening, so what happens is if you're a popular character, which Big Brother 16 had a lot of them, if you're a popular character on Big Brother, when you get off the show, CBS has The Bold and the Beautiful, which is like one of the longest running soap operas that there is. They'll put you on, they'll give you a couple lines for that, and you can be on that show. And actually, you can get your SAG card because of it, which is kind of funny because people work long and hard to get those SAG cards, and you just get one, part with lines or whatever, and then you can get it. But so Nicole and Cody and I was able to do that actually as well. So it is really, really cool to do. So
we were with like Jeff and Jordan and everyone. Ours was like a really cool.
Yeah, that's all. You guys had a lot of people.
It was like a Halloween party.
Brandon and Rachel, Alyssa came back.
Yeah, there was a ton of people there.
So after that, so how did you start pursuing your acting career from that?
Mm-hmm.
So I came home and my manager now, he was from my high school. He now is in LA, and like that's what he pursued right out of high school through college. And so I came off the show and he was like, let me manage you, let me help you. Like, I have contacts in the industry. I can like kind of get your foot in the door. And so he like got me meetings with a ton of huge name talent agencies. He got me signed to a modeling agency. And so like then getting me in the door with them, they were like, you don't have any experience, but we like your look. We like your personality. This is what you need to do. And so I started taking classes like immediately. I like sat in on classes. And then once I could sign up with this woman, Nina Morano, who's my acting coach, I signed up with her right away. And so I was doing classes like 3 nights a week, 4 hours. And like, that was like the first year and a half. I didn't even audition for anything because she was like, you're unprepared. New York is a smaller market than LA. Like if you go in and you audition and you're bad, like it'll get around to the other casting directors. And that's like what my agency said. And so they were like, you need to wait. And so I did like the acting class and went on commercial auditions. Cause like, you don't need, like anybody could go on a commercial audition because you don't have a lot of lines most of the time.
Yeah.
And so I was doing commercial auditions. I was trying to get modeling gigs, which was never going to happen. Cause like when you walk into the room with these models that are like the wildly skinny, but like have this crazy jawline and are like, I was like, and they're like towering me. I was like, I don't look anything like any of these people. I don't think I'm going to book any of these jobs. So I was like, you know what, modeling I didn't want to do anymore, but I just want to do acting.
And it's not what you wanted to do to begin with, you know?
Yeah, exactly. It was just like, you can make money doing this. And I was like, and then just even the photographer, I was just like, this is not my cup of tea. So the acting really like is where my head was at. And so doing the classes, and then a year and a half in, I like submitted to something on my own. Cause like my agency was like waiting, cause they weren't submitting me to any of like the network stuff, like the television shows. And so I submitted to this independent film, and that was like the first gig that I booked. And that was like terrifying. And then, you know, like you gain, and then the more you do, but then working with that director, like that kind of lined me up to work more, because then she did a lot more projects, and then I worked a lot more with her.
Okay.
And then you gain confidence, and then I would go in on auditions. It's like I went in for a huge Netflix film, even though it was like 2 lines or like 1 line. Mm-hmm. Like I had a little bit of confidence. So like if I was going to audition for like a 1-line thing, I was like, done, I'm going to kill this. Like it's 1 line. It's not a big deal.
Absolutely.
And then you go in with like an air and like a confidence, and then you book something, and then you're like, whoa. Because they always say there's like really no small role. Because then I was on set of this Netflix movie with like Pete Davidson and Glenn Powell. And I was like just some kid like hanging out with them because like we had the scene together. And it's like, you just never know what small or part could project you into something. So you gain confidence being around the people. And then, you know, now I've been in it for, I guess, like 6 years, 7 years.
That's awesome.
You know, I did Elementary. I did another independent film with this guy who now is like kind of taken off. I did First Wives Club, which is on the Paramount Network. It's just, so you do like some stuff and then you gain confidence, but it's like never what I thought I was going to do.
Yeah. And you're building your resume in the process too, you know?
Exactly.
Which is amazing. That's badass. Yeah, and so what's kind of like what's the trajectory now is that you're just going to keep doing that now you're in your head, you're full-time actor. That's the goal.
Yeah, well, so I'll be I can call myself a full-time actor when it pays my bills, and it doesn't pay my bills.
Okay.
So like my bills get paid by the other stuff that I'm doing. So like that's when everybody's like, oh, so you're full-time? I'm like, yeah, it's for me. But like to you, you know, I could tell you guys, and like I'm honest about it. Like I'm a full-time actor when it's paying my bills. And right now it's just extra money that I'm making where like the real estate that I'm doing and the coaching that I'm doing, that's what like pays my bills. So I'll feel like I'm a full-time, you know, like I can label it that, even though I call myself an actor. Like I'm an actor first, then I do real estate and coaching. But like when it's full time in my head, because I guess I'm a little more logic. I'm like, when it's paying my bills, then I'm doing it full time.
Well, and that's cool, but you need something to fuel that dream, right? So it's only realistic to be able to pay your bills, right? Because people say all the time, well, if you're not doing that all the time, then you still have to make a living. Right. So it doesn't make any sense. But that's awesome. I'm happy that you're still doing that, pursuing that. And you're actually working at it, right? You are getting jobs. So it's not just like some hopeless dream. You actually have a resume and you are a trained actor. So that's awesome. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Yeah,
I know. It's I mean, I think that would be awesome to do that.
Oh, yeah. That's like, I feel like everyone's like dream job because it just is so cool, but some people just aren't good at it, like me. But I mean,
it is very difficult, and I'm not good at it. And I'm not. And like I watch myself all the time, and I'm like, this is horrible.
What's that movie?
I'm like, you are terrible.
That independent film. I saw it.
We've seen that.
Yeah.
The
first
we ordered
one?
it.
Yeah, Vic, you were at my premiere, bro.
Yes, I was.
That's funny.
No, it was good. It was good. I really liked. I liked your character specifically. So no, it was good. So I think you have a future in it for sure, and so definitely don't give that up anytime soon.
Yeah. So you know,
acting,
as long as I have other stuff that can fuel it.
And is it like, so when you said it's like really hard, so I always was wondering this because when I'm watching,
here we go.
When I'm watching like movies and stuff, it's easily like, it's either like, oh, I'm so convinced, or I can tell like that they're acting and that it's, So do you just like, just dive, what's the word? Just submerge yourself into this character? Because I know a lot of people will say like, I didn't. What's the one character? Oh my God! Hold on, I'm just spewing crap. No, you got this.
No, it's okay.
So they will pretend to be their character, like outside of the film, or is that something that you find yourself you have to do?
like a method actor,
so it's a method actor. I don't do that. Like the training that I started and got right into is Meisner, which my acting coach, like is like method is no good. Like you don't do method because I think all of them have strain on your head because like if you dive into like a deep dark character and you're that character, like say I have to play a role of like a severely depressed patient in like a home and I'm doing that 24/7, like that's going to affect my mental state.
Oh,
you're
sure.
going to become a deep depressed person. Yeah.
So you will like inevitable. It's kind of inevitable and it's how like our psyche works. So that was like no good. And it was causing a lot of people to kind of go into depression or like go into a state that wasn't them and was kind of bad for their mental state. And so ours was always imaginary circumstances. So like, and then like kind of your character is based off, but like if I'm playing someone like that, I have to study somebody. Like I've never played that character, which would be, for me, it would be fascinating and incredible, and I would love to do it. But like, you kind of like you interact with people that have that, and you kind of like look at their like what like kind of like how their being is and like what they're doing, and then you form your own thing based on it, and then you use imaginary circumstances, and then you could like snap yourself out of it. That's like the psychological aspect behind it.
So you kind of like turn it on and turn it off when you are in character while being filmed. And do you like do this in front of a mirror to see like what your facial expressions look like? I'm just so curious about this.
No, go ahead.
Because what I feel like sometimes I'm very expressionist or whatever you call it. You can read all my expressions on my face, which sucks for me because, you know, especially if you're playing a game like Big Brother. But I'm just saying like, I feel like sometimes I'm not doing an expression and it's like, oh, you definitely are. Or sometimes I feel like I'm trying to pretend, oh, I'm so excited, but I look like I'm not excited. So I think I'd have to go in front of the mirror and like test this out. Is that something you have to do?
You definitely have to. This is the hardest part is like when I watch myself back, there's stuff I do that, you know, you have to kind of not because you're. Yeah, like if you make too many expressions, my coach would always say, you're doing all these expressions and almost you're like a character actor. And then it's like, you know, because then you're always about those. But there's people that make an incredible living off of doing that. So like there's no right and wrong, to be honest. Like that, and that's what I've learned. Like it's different now because it's also like anybody, like people that have, if you can like get your lines down and understand the character that you're playing and then make it believable. You're that's a good, in my eyes, like that's a good actor. Like if you believe that I'm the person and you don't believe it's just Cody acting, then you're doing your job and you're getting better and there's always something to work towards because like you're never going to be like good and then be done getting better. Like there's always going to be a next level to get to for like your entire career. There's never like going to be like, oh yeah, I'm at the top now. Like I don't need to get better. Because like there's always something to get better at.
There's always challenges, like different roles that you can play. Just like I saw Adam Sandler play the Uncut Gem role. That's the weirdest movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, what am I missing? But anyways, do you have trouble? Is your memory a lot better now since not that you had a bad memory before, but do you find it that you can memorize lines is easier now than it was at the beginning?
Yeah, you definitely get better at it. I would say this because I was extremely illiterate when I was younger. And so before tests, my mom would kind of like, I would go over like the questions and like, or like open-ended question that was always at the end of tests. Like my mom and I would write them together and then I would just memorize it. And then, so then when I got to my class and did a test, it's like slightly cheating, but I would literally be like, I remember exactly what I have to write in this paragraph. Not because like I knew how to write or like what to write. It was because I memorized what to write.
Oh, so you've always been
when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And now like getting a scene, like it definitely, whereas before it took me a little bit longer, like now I can memorize a little bit quicker, but that's a muscle too. Like the same way, like if you don't stretch every day, like your leg gets tight. Like if I'm not trying to actually memorize every day, like memorizing gets harder.
Yeah,
so
and that probably also coming with confidence and like knowing that you can memorize your lines will help you in the future, just like with anything. Like if you do something once and you're like, okay, I can do this. I feel like I would get in my own head and be like, oh my God, I'm going to forget my line.
Right.
But if you're not thinking you're going to forget your line, you won't forget your line.
Well, it's also just like...
you'll forget your line. I forget my line. Like, it's like, and I know my lines. And I like get there and then all of a sudden we're in the middle of a scene and I'm like, what in the world am I supposed to say
blank.
next? Like, I don't even know where we are.
Line.
So it happens.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, that happens to me when I first started working the road, remembering addresses or license plates that we had just left or just stopped or whatever. And I'd always have to ask my FTO, hey, you know, what was that address or what was that license plate? Now I can just rattle it off.
Yes.
And then
you'll see it for like a split second.
Yeah.
Right. And you'll be like, oh yeah, that was it. And then you'll remember, and then like later in the day, you'll be like, oh yeah, that license plate on this car was that.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like a muscle that gets better.
Yeah.
Is some people
so
just
by the way,
like...
Vic, I really appreciate what you do, man.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, this is such a random question too.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Are some people, do you think, just like born really good actors, or do you think that it takes like acting class? Like Brad Pitt, for example, I feel like started at a young age, and he's always been a really good actor. Was that something that, do you think he just like was naturally good at, or does anyone know if he took classes? Vic, do you know?
Yeah, so they all have, all the actors, like Leonardo DiCaprio I always use because like he's incredible, and he started as like a kid, like a baby.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And he's incredible, but he has like this incredible coach that he's worked with his entire life. So like where I like do classes, like when I got the role, like I would go to my acting coach and we would break down like everything. And she would be like, no, or like, no, I don't believe you. And so like that, I think for these big, like these, they all have acting coaches and they all can do it on their own. But when they really want to dive into like something that's like meaningful in these intense roles, they have someone that they're working with. So there's somebody holding them accountable and someone that they're working with. Okay. Now, like the better actors can do it a lot because they've been doing it a lot, and then they've been working with the coach for a while. So it's almost like set in them. But yeah, everybody works with an acting coach.
Especially as a child, that makes a huge difference.
And I also think it's very obviously dependent on the role, right? Leo and Brad Pitt play a lot of these roles that it's like you have to prepare for, opposed to where like the Kevin Harts of the world, where they're doing a bunch of funny stuff, where a lot of it could be ad lib too, you know, and they're just themselves. Like they're just themselves in the movie. Exactly, they are the character themselves, and then they can make up stuff at the end of a scene or during the scene. And just kind of come up with things, which makes it a lot more fun.
That's like Jim Carrey does that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just like those types of guys. I mean, that seems like a lot more fun, honestly. But it doesn't get you the Oscars, and like it's not as moving and historical, you know. So,
and it gets like Dwayne Johnson, I think he's gone a little corny with his one-liners in his movies, but he hasn't won an Oscar, but he's literally the biggest movie star on the planet. Like if he wants something to get made, it's going to get made.
You know, he does all the fun, cool movies, a lot of action, a lot of comedy, and that seems, you know, that's awesome. So
well, cool, Cody. I'm really happy for you. This was really cool to talk about. It's such a different thing that I think we talked about with anybody.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's so interesting.
Yeah, it's a fun industry. Nicole, you should give it another go. You should go call Beautiful and be like, you cut one of my lines, and now I want that line back in another show.
No, I mean, but remember when we did the superhero thing, Victor? And I got like the line in that too, and I think they're like, oh crap, this was for Big Brother. Remember when they did like the superhero thing?
What was that?
Oh my god, great!
Yeah.
Two or three seasons ago.
I was like, oh my god. I was like, you guys gave me the line. I'm like, oh. I was panicking, sweating. I was just like, anybody would be better. I don't have that confidence. And maybe if I had the confidence and like I actually, no.
It's all right.
It's cool though. I mean, it's cool that you do it, so now I can just talk to you about it. I'll live through you.
Well, you gain confidence as you do it. And so if I ever, you know, turn into something where like I have to say where I'm like, somebody gets it, I'll get you a line and we'll get you like prepped for it.
And I think
ready to go, I'd be gain confidence.
Yeah, and I'd be really good at playing this small town girl from the middle of nowhere. I could do that really well.
What if you had to play yourself? Well, that's what they were saying in the beginning. To gain your confidence, you play something close to yourself.
Yeah, I could do
that.
that.
So that you're like, oh man, you know, like if your first role is like a serial killer, you might be in trouble. Like,
exactly.
I mean,
Yeah, that could be bad.
Maybe that is yourself. I don't know.
No, it is not.
We can talk about it.
I'm scared.
Shut up, bitch.
Well, hey, thank you so much, Cody, for being on the show. We appreciate
this
you.
is awesome.
What a fun conversation. Didn't know it was going to veer this way, but it turned into a very, very interesting and fun conversation. So we appreciate you.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, guys.
Bye. That was such a cool conversation.
Yeah, that was a good time.
Yeah, he's so fun.
Are you going to be an actor now?
No.
No?
Victor, you know that's a joke. You listened to my accents the other day, and you were dying belly laughing on the way home. You couldn't even tell what I was trying to be.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, Nicole, please do the first one.
What was it?
Do the first accent that you had.
What's the sentence that I said?
Okay,
it was like, I went to the bar and I had a beer. Okay, clearly that's Irish.
Oh my gosh, no. Okay,
yes.
just do. I wish if you would have just left the pause for people to think about what it was.
Oh, okay. I'll do another one.
Do a different one.
Okay.
Same sentence. I went to the bar and I had a beer, something like that.
I went to the bar and I had a beer.
Even though we went over these the other day, I still don't know what that is.
That's British.
That's British.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, this is what I'm dealing with, people. All right. So, Spanish word of the day. Mm-hmm. Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. The Spanish word of the day is...
Actor.
Well, I was going to say actor, but I switched it before. Because I knew that'd be too easy.
Okay.
Película.
Película.
Película. Película.
Actress. Dancer.
Actriz would be
Okay.
actress.
Producer.
What are you getting at?
I'm getting at acting.
Okay. But you said producer.
Show. Production.
Movie.
Oh, that's a long word for movie.
Película.
Wow. You want to go to the películas?
Vamos a ver una película. We're going to go watch a movie.
Did not know that one. That's a hard one. Everybody, good luck saying that.
Película.
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 Cula.
Película.
Película.
There you go.
Película. Okay, my weird or normal. So I've been observing myself lately, and I've been doing some weird things, and like I need to confess them.
Oh, really?
So,
you were now noticing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
So do you lick the Q-tip before you put it in your ear?
That's a lie.
What?
That's not real.
Is that really weird? You don't do that?
Are you're joking?
No, I'm dead serious.
No, you're not.
You're like crying right now. I swear to God.
Yeah, because I've never.
Are you serious? Seriously?
Are you?
That's not even that weird, I didn't think. That's why I didn't really say it before. I did it today, and I do it all the time. Like, so I take a Q-tip.
You're being dead serious right now.
Not after it's in my ear. Prior to me putting it in my ear, I take a Q-tip, I lick one side of it, and then I put it in my ear to like clean, and then I use the dry side to dry, and then I do the same on the other side.
Why wouldn't you just put it underwater?
Oh, is that normal?
No, that
seems like it'd be too much water. Like I don't want to have to like drink
that sounds so weird. Isn't your
So you just use a dry Q-tip all the time?
Yes, because if that's the case, why don't you just do it after you get out of the shower?
I do sometimes, but like it just felt like it needed a good cleaning today.
So you lick the Q-tip.
I don't stick my tongue out and rub the Q-tip on my tongue. I put it in my mouth, like close my mouth around it, get a little bit wet, and then I do it. But I do that for like under my eyes, like when I'm wearing like if my makeup drains. I think this is like a girl thing. I mean, you can't just like put a dry Q-tip, like you just get a little bit damp and then you put it underneath your eye. I don't think that's that weird. I can't believe that you think that's that weird.
I am flabbergasted. I think that's the only way I can describe it.
I guess I don't know anyone else that does this. So somebody help me out there.
Oh my God. Definitely for a poll. This is definitely for a poll.
Okay.
Because I've never heard, I've never seen, I've never had anybody reference that. Like that has never... Ever in the history of ever have I seen or heard anybody do that or anything similar. Even putting it underwater to then put it in their ear.
I think that'd be weird. I think that's too much water. Because it's not like it's damp. It's not like soaking wet. Okay, well, that's a good weird or normal. There you go.
This is very good. It came out of left field. I swear I thought you were joking. I thought this was a joke that you were coming up with, and then be like, haha, no, I'm just kidding. This is a weird or normal.
You've never seen me do that in the 3 years we've been together?
Never. No.
Huh.
And I probably would be like, what the because I'd be thinking like you're putting it in your mouth after you put it in your ear or something.
Ew, no, that's gross. That's why I thought you thought I was saying. I was like, because I honestly thought that this was super normal.
No, I understood what you were saying. And I still thought it was weird. Wow.
Whatever.
That's a good one. All right. So now Nicole, she's going to read the review, which is going to be less weird because we really appreciate you guys. And without you, there's no us. So we read the reviews as a reminder to that. So take it away.
Okay, this one's from Elizabeth Higgins, 5 stars, called Springtime. I love how light and airy y'all's podcast always are. Your conversation is so real and genuine, and I find myself nodding along with the things you both are saying. Even when I don't know your guests, I still listen and find myself actually interested in the interviews. Every podcast I listen to feels like springtime, and if I start one feeling stressed out and anxious, I end it feeling the complete opposite. Thank you for that.
Oh, that's nice.
I like that.
Well, we do our best, and we appreciate that. And as Nicole was reading the review, I was nodding my head to everything you were saying. Like, yep.
You were.
I agree, everything that you're saying. Nicole, do you want to close it out? Do you remember everything?
No, go ahead.
You don't remember?
I got to pee really bad. So
Thank you, everybody. Please rate, review, and subscribe. The easiest way to do that is on Apple Podcasts. You can listen to this podcast anywhere you listen to podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio. You can always go to www.cococalientepodcast.com. You can listen there and you can check out our merchandise. Don't forget to follow us at Coco Caliente Podcast on Instagram and at Coco Caliente Pod on Twitter. Thank you.